See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
A heat advisory begins at 10 a.m. today. Slight chance of thunderstorms today, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun. Highs around 95. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Right now, 77.
Are you taking your health seriously? Sunshine Nutrition Center is your full-range health food store and knowledgeable center helping you to achieve your health needs. You have questions? We've got answers. Here at Sunshine Nutrition Center, located at 621 South Church Street in Murfreesboro.
That's Kim Hillsman Dunaway.
City of Murfreesboro, this is Jacob Morphus running for your city council. If you want someone who values unconditional integrity, has a servant's heart, but is gritty and gets things done, then I am your candidate. I serve people for a living. I'm seeking this role not as a politician, but as a passionate resident looking to serve the community I love. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st and Election Day August 6th. I'll be grateful for your vote. God bless.
Paid for by Jacob Morphus for Murfreesboro City Council. Jacob Morphus, Treasurer.
Bringing humor, insight, and a voice of reason. Hey, it's Rick. Join me for the Rick Burgess Show on WGNS, weekdays 11 till 2.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is The Roundtable, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters Award winner for Best Local Talk Show. A look at the news, views, politics, sports, and people shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into The Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, long been absent from this seat for a while, so I might be just a little rusty.
You've been traveling.
Welcome in, been having camps, and we have another camp today at Patterson Park. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be with those kiddos, but I welcome in Jami Averwater. And Jami, we kind of were talking off air about what you learned in your first term, but in particular, maybe the first half of that year, first year to that year, what you didn't know and what you now know going into your second term.
Yeah. Well, first, thank you for having me again, Andy. I appreciate you and your friendship so much, and I've loved getting to know your beautiful wife over the last year or so, and our great dinners at Carrabba's. We have a good time. We shut the place down, don't we?
Always.
We always do. I'll introduce myself. I'm Jami Averwater. I serve on the Murfreesboro City Council. I was elected in 2022. I am the youngest woman elected to that position. Alongside me, I serve with Miss Madeline Scales Harris, who is the only other woman on council. So the two of us have a really good time. And I'm also proud to serve with Austin Maxwell, who is running for re-election as well, Kurt Wade, Vice Mayor Bill Shacklet, and of course, Mayor Shane McFarland. And so the seven of us, we make up the Murfreesboro City Council. And I'll tell you, you asked what I learned that first year on the City Council, and the answer is a lot. I oftentimes say it was like drinking out of a fire hose. But I couldn't have done it if I didn't have such good support from my fellow council members, because let me tell you, I was in over my head. I remember running for this seat and I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew the answer to our traffic issues. I thought I knew how to keep taxes low and how to hold people accountable for their actions. And let me tell you, working in local government is a humbling experience. You learn what you can do, you learn what you can't do. You learn the barriers to get things done are oftentimes greater than you thought that they were. And there's so much that goes into running a city. And then there's running an amazing city like ours. You know, we have an incredible school system. We have a great Parks and Recreation department. We have incredible public safety officers. Our men and women in uniform are out there every day on the front lines keeping our community safe, and we're so blessed to have them. And when I got elected in 2022 and I had the opportunity to serve the first year, and I learned so much. I learned how much it costs to buy those uniforms that our police officers wear. I know how much it costs to purchase a fire truck. I know the differences in the types of fire trucks, and one has a really tall ladder and a bucket, and not all of them have that, and we can't afford all the ones that have the really tall buckets. And you learn it costs $80 million to build a school. I mean, you just think you have it all figured out, and then you get elected, and oh my goodness, it is hard. It is hard, but it has been such a rewarding experience. I've learned so much. It's one of my biggest passions in life is learning. I didn't go to law school particularly because I wanted to be a lawyer. I went because I wanted to learn more about the law. So I took a very different approach when I went to law school. In college at MTSU, I studied economics. I didn't want to be an economist. I just wanted to learn more about the economies, especially at the local level. And so everything in my life up until this point has been about learning, and city council is included in that. I have been so blessed to have learned so much. And it's big thanks to my colleagues on the Murfreesboro City Council. Sean Wright particularly has taught me so much. And I actually believe I left him off on the first list that I named. Did I leave him off?
We did.
One of my best friends, and I left him off. Sean, I'm sorry. I love you so much.
It is Monday morning.
It is Monday. I'm just going to take another drink of this coffee right here if I can. But it's true. Sean is one of my best friends and one of my biggest supporters, both professionally and personally. And I'm so thankful for his mentorship. And Mayor McFarland as well. Mayor McFarland is an incredibly smart man. He is so well read, and he spends, I don't know how he gets all of it done in a day. It's not uncommon for me to get an email from him, or even Sean for that matter, at 4:15 in the morning. I mean, they wake up and they hit the floor running, and I'm just so proud to be among them. Let me tell you, I don't send emails at 4 o'clock in the morning. I am snoozing at 4 a.m. My alarm goes off about 6:30. You won't catch me before then.
Well, I'm shocked because most realtors that I know, they're not up and in the office until after 9. So to hear that with Sean,
he's up early. He gets up. He goes to the gym. You know, he's got 4 boys. Did you know that?
I know. I've had a couple of them in first shot.
Yes, wow. I don't see how him and his wife, I love being on the phone with him and Laura when they're at home, and I can just hear the boys yelling and everything. One time I was on the phone with Sean, and I heard this loud ruckus, and all of a sudden I heard Sean just go, "Oh, my face!" His son had dove off the bed right into Sean's face and made his nose bleed. And I was like, man, it's a circus over there. You know, I don't have that. Our kiddo's 15 now, so he's high energy, but he's a little more calm. He doesn't jump off furniture anymore.
So in this, and you're down to the last 2 weeks, basically.
2 weeks until Election Day. Can I talk about Election Day really quick?
Yes.
So early voting already started. It started Friday, and it went Friday, Saturday. The polls opened back up this morning at 10 a.m. at our convenient polling locations. And it goes from 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to noon on Saturdays. And early voting goes until August 1st. And then Election Day is August 6th. And the polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we've got many opportunities to vote between now and then.
So talking about that.
Yeah.
In our last election, under 20,000 people in our whole county
You mean in the May election?
Yes.
Yeah. That was embarrassing, wasn't it?
So how do we change that?
Oh, wait till you see city council. It's like 7,000 vote for city council. At least in 2022 when I was elected. We have to get people. But here, let me tell you, Andy, I want to get people out to vote. I do. But I also want to get them educated before they vote. I want you to ask questions of your candidates before you vote. You know, how long have you lived here? What have you done for the community outside of your career? What organizations are you involved with? Where do you give your time and money? All of those things are important to me when selecting candidates. I really like to know a person's heart. You know, Jeff McKinney was just elected, or I say in the primary, that is, for county clerk. And not county clerk, I'm sorry, court clerk, circuit court clerk, Jeff McKinney. And he is just an incredible man. He has just got such a good heart. Him and his wife, Amy, are incredible people. The Republican candidate, Kenny Barrett, also a great human. I love his heart. I love his soul. I love his passion for the community. I love that he served our community on the front lines as an officer for so long. And so I want you to vote. Voting is really important. But I want you to know who you're voting for. And I want you to understand the implications when you cast that ballot. Because I think at some point, maybe in your younger years, everyone walked into a voting booth because they felt obligated to, because we say voting is your obligation. It's your right, but it's also your obligation. And I think people walk in and they might not be totally prepared to vote. And I just encourage people to go on the Rutherford County Election Commission website, look at your sample ballot, and do some research before you walk in that booth so that you know who you're voting for. And you're right, a low number of people vote, and I wish that we could do more to make that number higher, but I also wish we could do more. I wish I could knock every door in the city. I'm trying, but I can't. I wish I could. And also, when let's talk about knocking doors. Nobody answers anymore. If sometimes their Ring doorbell lights up and somebody says, "Can I help you?" and I'm talking to like a little camera, but it's so hard to get in front of people. And so a lot of people are active in politics and they'll come to me. They'll request a meeting with me. I was at Costco yesterday. This was really cute. I was at Costco and I was walking down the aisle and some man stopped me and he goes, "Hey, thank you for your service. I'm voting for you." And I said, "Oh my gosh, that just makes it all worth it."
Well, again, for me, I told you this. We've become friends with you and Alan. And, you're the only sign. I'm 65 years old. My wife's 66. We've never had a yard sign before. And we've been married now 24 years almost. So, again, that's because we know you.
Thank
all
you.
Right? And that's just, for me, I think my dad being in politics kind of,
Yeah.
I didn't like it because he was called everything bad. And they never saw anything good in him because...
Ain't that the truth?
And again, you're making hard decisions, and some of the decisions that they're yelling at you, they had no control over. So when you look at city council now, you talked about the fire and police and EMT. Talk about, we're the 5th largest city now.
Yeah. That's true.
How do we... when you look at it, I don't think they're blue and red issues in as a councilwoman or a councilman. I think they're just about what's the right thing. How do we keep our police and firemen equipped and here and retained
and safe
and safe.
And most people may not realize this, but our city council is nonpartisan. So whether you're Republican or Democrat, you get the same exact ballot. And I think there's something beautiful in that.
I do too.
Because you're right. This at the local level, especially on city council, it is more about public safety and funding education and our quality of life. And those are the things that are important to citizens. That's what I'm hearing when I go door to door and I'm talking to people of Murfreesboro. They want to know, if I'm on the west side, they want to know, when's Veterans Park going to be finished? That's a big project. The city council has worked so hard on Veterans Park for the last, I think before I even got on council, but at least for the last 4 years, we have worked so hard on Veterans Park to get the design right, to get the bids, to make sure the money was in line, to phase it out so that we can pay for it and be responsible with taxpayer money. That is going to be a huge asset to the people of the west side of town. And not just in the city, people in the county will also use Veterans Park. And so what a blessing that's going to be for our community. We live on the same side of town, on the west side, and that's going to be such a blessing. So when I'm on the west side, people are asking me, when's the park going to be ready? Are we going to build another school? How are we going to pay our teachers more? How are we going to get more officers on the street? That's a big concern right now is safety. We don't want the crime in Murfreesboro to continue to tick upward. We don't want that. We don't want to become that suburb of Nashville that attracts all the crime. Whether we like it or not, we're a little bit of an interstate town. We have the interstate that runs right through the center of Murfreesboro, and that crime has the opportunity to stop here, commit crime, get back on the interstate and go. And that's what we have to protect against. And the only way to do that is keep more officers, or the best way, should I say, is to keep more officers on the road. And so thankfully in this last budget cycle, we were able to add some more officers, which is great, purchase some more patrol cars, which were greatly needed. And then, of course, we have 11 fire stations now in the city, but we need more.
How short are we on? Let's just talk about a police cruiser.
Yeah.
The cost.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a round part figure, what cost of a cruiser and the lifespan of that cruiser.
Yeah, so it's about $100,000. It can be upwards of $100,000 to buy a cruiser because you have to buy it, even though we get a little bit of discount buying in, bulk direct from the manufacturer. But you get the cruiser, and then you have to equip it out with everything that it needs to keep the officer safe and to keep and to keep it functioning for its intended purpose, which is patrol. And so those are really expensive vehicles. So $100,000 upwards for the car itself, and then you have to pay the police officer that's driving it. You have to buy their uniforms and keep them dry cleaned, of course, buy their ammunition and their weapons and their radios. I mean, every time we hire a police officer, it ain't cheap, but it's worth it. That's an expense that I will continue to fight for, because the more officers we have on the road, the safer that we are. Let me tell you, Andy, I got into a little fender bender back in 2024. And it was on kind of in rush hour on Highway 96. There's just a little fender bender. Nobody was hurt. Thankfully, everything was fine. But, you need a police report. So I just called the non-emergency police number. And I said, I've been in a little fender bender. Can I have an officer come out, please? It took 45 minutes for a police officer to respond. And so naturally, me, as a councilwoman, I wanted to know why. And so on Monday morning, I called Chief Michael Bowen, who's a great police chief, and I called him.
Good.
He's so good. And I said, hey, I want to meet about this. I want to understand how we as a city council can help reduce those response times. And of course, he explained to me during rush hour, there's just a lot of accidents, so they're spread thin. And I said, okay, but what happens if half of your police officers are responding to accidents during rush hour and there's a burglary or an armed robbery or a missing child? So we needed to immediately work on getting more police officers on the road. And that's one of the best things about being on city council. I think it's unfair. Actually, I know that it's unfair for anyone to say that we are self-serving on this city council, because I will stand by the fact that nothing I do on that council is self-serving. And I will defend my colleagues on that matter as well. I will tell you that I take my personal experiences and I use them to better the city and to make myself a better councilwoman. When my husband dropped dead of a cardiac arrest in September of 2023, you know what I did Monday morning while he was still in the ICU? I called the fire chief, and I said, I want the names of every single fire department member that did CPR on him that night. And as you know, Alan is with us today by the grace of God, but his heart stopped.
Thank God, yeah.
His heart was stopped. He was dead. And and some amazing men and women did CPR on him. And I called 911, and within 3 minutes, Station 9, Rescue 9, was in front of him performing CPR and strapping to him a Lucas device. And the point of that Lucas device is to pump and perform those compressions. Because as humans, no matter how strong you are, Andy, no matter how much you work out, as humans, we get tired. We're inconsistent with our rhythm and we get tired. And I'll be the first to tell you, that day, I didn't know CPR. I didn't get CPR certified till after that. And when I did get certified, I thought, oh my goodness, this is so hard. And if I have to keep someone alive, and they teach you how to pull them out of the bed. And if you're not CPR certified, I recommend you go down to the Red Cross and get CPR certified. It's an incredible experience, humbling, very humbling. So they put this Lucas device on him. And they leave that device on him for 17 minutes while they transported him to the hospital so he could go directly into surgery. They had continued to try to restart his heart, and it was not pumping on its own. So they had to attach that Lucas device. And I called Chief McCluskey on Monday morning, and I said, look, I need the names of everybody so I can personally thank them for saving my husband's life. Because you know what? Those men and women did not know he was a council member's husband. They didn't care. They would have saved his life, whether he was a drug addict or a homeless man or you or me or our kids. They would have saved their lives. And that's what I love about them. But I also wanted to know more about that Lucas device. And Chief McCluskey shared with me that we had one Lucas device.
And we have 11 stations.
And we have 11 stations. And by the grace of God, that Lucas device responded to my husband that day. And that is the only reason he gets to come home to his wife and kids at night. And so let me tell you, we went to work. Chief McCluskey and we went to work. And we were able to secure federal, because you know how much those devices are?
Probably over 100,000.
Dang near close, about high $70,000 for a device that you don't use every day. It's hard. I understand why we hadn't purchased 11 of them, because you don't use them every day. But what we started realizing with research is that cardiac arrest numbers were rising. And we don't know why. We won't speculate as to why. But the numbers of cardiac arrests are increasing. And so we went to work and we were able to secure federal funding, a federal grant to purchase the remaining Lucas devices needed. And now today, there is a Lucas device on every single fire rescue truck in this, or every single station in this city. And that will help save lives. Another thing we've done is AEDs. We got every one of our patrol officers trained in using an AED. So, because oftentimes police officers are the first on the scene. They just are. And so police officers are trained in a life-saving things like CPR, and obviously a choking child. They can respond to those things very quickly, administering Narcan. But giving them the AED so that they can restart someone's heart is a game changer. And so when I tell you, I don't do this to self-serve. I do this to serve the community, and I use my experiences in my life to be a better council member. And I'm just so thankful for that opportunity. And anyone who says otherwise they're just lying.
Well, I think most people, it's so easy in today's world because of social media, because of so many other outlets, Jamie, to take shots.
Oh, these keyboard warriors. Let me tell you, I got referred to this weekend by a grown man who actually has a radio show on WGNS as that little girl Averwater. That little girl. And maybe I shouldn't be so bothered by that. Now, let me tell you, I don't lose sleep over it because I've been called worse as a woman in politics. But let me tell you, I have an advanced degree. I own a company. I lead 25 people on a daily basis. I've served this city for 4 years. I volunteer. I go to church. I do all of these things. I'm a great mom. I'm a good wife. Not a great wife. I'm a good wife. I get better every day, let me tell you. But I do all of these things.
It's the hardest thing sometimes we do.
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing. And so I do all of these things. So that little girl just kind of hit a nerve because I'm a woman. I'm a grown woman who works hard for this community.
Here's what I'd say to you. And it's anytime someone calls a name, it's to hide what they are insecure about. So to me, anybody that is attacking you, you should almost wear it as a badge of honor, young lady.
You're right.
And you are a young lady. You're not a little girl, you're a young lady.
That's right.
To me.
Young woman.
Young woman. And here's my thing, you're accomplished. They don't understand, you're also a judge.
I was.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I was out in Eagleville, and that was such an honor.
You've wore a lot of hats to serve our community. That wasn't self-serving. You gained nothing from that.
No.
Just more time away from your family.
That's right.
So, and that's what I'd say to everybody. You look at this, and now we've got, how many schools are we actually short? And how do we, what's our next school that we have to build? Again, we're a growing county.
We are.
And city.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about the school systems and where we will, if we do build a school, where will we put it? Because as you know, the cost of land, it's hard to not only find the land that will fit a school, but it's also hard to pay for it. It's very expensive to buy land here. And you think houses are expensive, try to buy, 25 to 30 acres to build a school on. And then you add in the fact that our schools are inherently no longer a safe place, and they should be.
Right.
So the types of equipment that we need to put in these schools to keep them safe is very important. And so I know that Dr. Duke and the Murfreesboro School Board have looked very closely at renovations and changes and upgrades to these school systems to keep our students safe. We've funded some additional school resource officers in the last 2 budgets, and that will help keep the students safe. But we definitely need some upgrades to some of our schools. And so I'm sure that the school board looks at that very closely. Do we upgrade these schools? Do we build a new school? There's a lot to think about.
So again, you're not setting curriculum. The city council is funding.
That's correct.
What we pay our teachers.
Yeah.
And what we build. Mm-hmm. So when you look at that, are we short schools, or do we just need upgrades on their schools?
I believe Dr. Duke's current opinion is that we are still short of school. We need upgrades and we are short. And we are trying to, and I believe the school board is working to navigate what the next 5 years looks like and what the next 10 years looks like. You know, the county has the obligation to educate students, and so they're looking at some possible school options as well. And, you know, I talked about this, I think, on a radio show here recently. 1 in 4, so 25% of our population that has moved here the last 4 years have been children. 25%. So we have to educate those kids. Where are we going to put them? Where are we going to put them? And we have a lot of work to do on that. And I don't have all the answers. I don't claim to have all the answers in anything I do. But I know that the school board is working hard, and Dr. Duke is working hard, and the Murfreesboro City Council is committed to finding a solution so that we can educate these children. Because there's nothing, as you know, in your professional career, there is nothing more important than children. And your organization is so good at that. And I love supporting your organization, by the way.
I think it's our last resource is our children. If we want to really make positive change, we got to change their outlook on life, and education is the key to it.
Absolutely.
Obviously. We look at that. We look at the traffic now. I moved back here with the warning from my wife not to let traffic get me.
You and I have talked about this. You're a little short-fused in the traffic, right?
I am, because somebody else is weaving in and out, and
it's probably my husband. Has my husband ever cut you off?
I haven't seen it yet. But he'd get an earful if I ever see him. But it's just, I'm not in a rush anymore. I left at 8:15 to get here by 9. So again, traffic doesn't affect me. I drive the speed limit now. I'm not always in a rush. I'm not trying to cut anybody off. And I'll let people in. It's just, why aren't we more congenial to each other and nice, and let if you want in, put your turn signal on, I'll let you in.
That's right. You know what my dad told me when I started driving? He said, you ever notice how traffic doesn't seem so bad if you leave on time? And as I get older, ain't that the truth?
So for me as an old coach, if I'm 15 minutes not here early, I'm late. That's just kind of always my thing as you got to be early. Show up early, leave late.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
We've got school issues. How do you think we've equipped our teachers in the classroom budget-wise, or is that something else that's more the school board?
That I don't want to step on the toes of our incredible school board. I think
that might be the toughest job in our county.
Absolutely it is. I will say I'm very proud of them, because obviously there is room for improvement. And do we need to pay teachers more? Absolutely. There is always more that needs to be given to our teachers. But we seem to not have a hard time filling positions in the city, which makes me very proud. Dr. Duke sends us kind of an employment report, and I'm very impressed by our numbers. And most people that I have spoken to, actually, I don't know that I've ever met anyone who was employed by the city schools that didn't really enjoy their job. And a lot of that is Dr. Duke's incredible leadership. And you know as well as I do, a leader is everything. A good leader is everything to an organization.
Well, those principals sitting in those schools are important to those teachers. I can tell you, because my mom taught for over 30 years, and when she had a bad principal, we knew it at home.
Oh, yeah.
And the same for my daughter, who is now edging in on almost 18 years as a teacher in our county system here. And, her principal is important to her.
It is. Principal is important. And speaking of great leaders, the city is now led by city manager Darren Gore, who does a fantastic job. And if you haven't had Darren on your show yet, Andy, he is such an incredible human. He's got an amazing heart for the community. He's got a heart for Christ, his family, and he loves his job. And he has to, because he probably works 70 hours a week. When I tell you that man is always responding to emails, phone calls, getting pulled into meetings, getting CC'd on stuff, and he don't get paid enough. That's for sure. And we are so thankful for him and all the knowledge and experience that he brings. He was an engineer by trade. So to find an engineer with that much personality and leadership ability. You know, engineers typically that I work with tend to be more introverted, more reserved. And Mr. Gore is everything I would love to be in a leader. And I mean that very sincerely, and you would love him so much.
Well, we should give props to the council that hired him because he's new.
Yeah.
Right?
He is, and that was a tough decision. We had 2 internal candidates apply that I think both would have done a fantastic job. Both were great men, and those, I hate to say it, I mean, those are the hard decisions, not some of the hard decisions we make. It's not always just what are we going to fund. It's about putting the right people in the right seat on the bus. And, you know, we've recently had a new city attorney. We've had to hire a new city attorney, and that's a process that the city council is also very involved with. And so the 2 people in the city that report directly to the city council are the city manager and the city attorney. And then everyone else in the city reports up from there to their direct supervisor and then eventually to the city manager. So that's how the hierarchy of the city works. So even though the city has, you know, a couple thousand employees at this point, they don't all report to city council, which is good. We're not equipped to do that. You know, I wouldn't want the street department reporting to me because I don't know the first thing about those really cool trucks that they drive. And let's talk about streets. Can we talk about streets?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we talked about traffic and we joked about traffic, but we've made some really good improvements on our streets, especially, I mean, so I heard someone say recently that, well, it's funny how politicians only pay attention during election season. Okay. We don't just wake up one day and decide to expand a road. It takes years, guys, to like acquire the property and then to find the money and then to work with the engineers and then to start building the road. You know, that takes years. So we don't just wake up and say, oh, we're running for re-election this year. We better start expanding Thompson Lane. It does not work that way, Andy. We have to put a lot of work in. And so these road projects that we're seeing now come to fruition have been the work of the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Even the North Thompson Lane project has been on the books for almost a decade.
So when you look at that North Thompson, there's more than just the city and the county having to work together. You're having to work with everybody, the state.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially there's a lot of property owners on North Thompson Lane, and so we have to deal with them. So with the state, we're working on Highway 96, Highway 99. We deal with that intersection of Old Fort Parkway and Highway 99. Working with the state is not easy. You know, TDOT is a great organization for many things, but they're still a large governmental organization. It's not a small.
A lot of red tape.
And there's a lot of cities and a lot of places in Tennessee that are also fighting to get roads, you know, and I have to give a shout out to our state delegation. You know, Dr. Brian Terry, Senator John White, Senator Shane Reeves, Robert Stevens, Tim Rudd, they have all done a great job this last year or two helping bridge the gap between us and TDOT so that we can get some of these projects finished. Highway 99 looks awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
I can't believe it. And I know people are really frustrated that the Veterans and Highway 99 is closed right now. And I keep telling people, I know, it stinks. I have to detour too, and I hate it. I don't get a city council pass that lets me through the barrier, but it's worth it. It's going to look so good. We're going to be able to get traffic to the interstate faster, to Franklin faster, and it is going to be an incredible project when it's finished.
Yeah, and going back to the North Thompson one, man, that's going to be a 2 or 3 year project, and that's just if weather cooperates. So,
that's right.
I mean, all of it, you know, if there's no pain, then there's no change. Everything's just going to stay status quo. So when I look at the roads, yeah, there's always room, but again, I don't think people understand the red tape that you have to get through.
It's a lot of red tape. And it costs a lot of money. And not only does it cost a lot of money, but while you're building it, the price seems to change because they find extra rock or because the cost of labor has gone up or they run into a lot of weather delays. And so we have to allocate budget for that overage. And there's a lot that goes into that. Uh-oh. Our boss is coming in.
We're going to take a break and be right back with Jami Averwater.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
School's out Murfreesboro, but learning doesn't stop at Learning Zone. All summer, kids grow with hands-on fun that keeps young minds sharp. Here's the big news. Our summer special gives new families our best summer promotional rates. Enroll in the next 30 days to take advantage. Miss the window, and it's gone. Trusted care, amazing teachers, unbeatable rates. Call Learning Zone at 615-695-1667. That's 615-695-1667.
This is Austin Maxwell, and I'm asking for your vote for Murfreesboro City Council. It has been an honor to serve this community and work every day to make Murfreesboro an even better place to call home. But I believe Murfreesboro's best days are still ahead. I'll keep working for better roads, more parks and recreation, and good jobs that allow our families to thrive right here at home. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st, and Election Day is August 6th.
Paid for by Austin Maxwell for Murfreesboro City Council. Austin Maxwell, Treasurer.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit ChooseChip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and Americare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
It didn't cost me anything to call the law office of John Day.
I didn't have to pay just to seek out legal advice.
They handled it all, and they were very good.
The law offices of John Day. Call for your free consultation.
My name is Pat, and we are very real clients of the law offices of John Day.
We called the law office of John Day. They came to our rescue and took care of us, and we are very happy with them.
Injured by a big truck? Trust the law offices of John Day.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
Early voting is going on right now through August 1st. And here in Rutherford County, you can early vote at any of the 9 early voting locations. That's right, any one of them. Vote where it's most convenient for you. But whatever you do, vote. Willy Wonka Jr. is going on this weekend at the Springhouse Theater in Smyrna. This is also the weekend for Guys and Dolls Senior at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. Our own St. Clair Street seniors are the stars in the spotlight. That's this weekend at the Art Center of Cannon County. Don't miss Guys and Dolls Senior. Award-winning local author Shelley Shepard Gray will speak and answer questions, as well as having her 2 latest books, D is for Daisy and The Unexpected Caller. That'll all be at the Lineball Library this Saturday morning at 11. Come on over and meet award-winning local author Shelley Shepard Gray at the Lineball Library, just off the Murfreesboro Square. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
A heat advisory begins at 10 a.m. today. Slight chance of thunderstorms today, otherwise a mix of clouds and sun. Highs around 95. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Right now, it's 81 degrees.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric.
Sharing Change has donated now over $12 million to local nonprofits. Find out how your spare change can make a big impact at sharingchange.org.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herger. Hey, shameless plug here. First Shot's having its fall fundraiser September 30th, the Autumn with the Alley.
Yay.
At the Oakland's Mansion. It's music, food, fun, and great way to help us fund our academic side of First Shot. So you can reach out to me at 615-631-5312. Tickets for individuals are $100, and that's what it takes to send a kid to camp. So we appreciate all your support. Councilwoman, welcome back in.
Thank you. I'm putting that on my calendar. You didn't consult me before you picked that date.
It's a Wednesday. It's always the last Wednesday of September.
And you know what else we have on the last Wednesday?
Your council.
Planning Commission.
Yep.
But I will come after because it's a quick hop, skip, and a jump from City Hall if it's at Oakland's Mansion. And
hopefully Alan will come out and hang out with me and Gina.
You know that he will. You need to send us a sponsorship packet, though.
Okay, I will. But here's my thing. I look at our town, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. This is
Amen.
Right. I mean, I think so. Over the years, the leadership has had to be good, and you know we were talking off air. There's a lot that goes into this, and into getting reelected.
There is.
And the shots that get taken, and all of that. I don't. Again, Brian and I look at each other and scratch our head. Brian Barrett, station manager, general manager here at WGNS, and we don't know why anybody would do it. So why in your heart of hearts, knowing that you're going to get bushwhacked, for the lack of better terms?
Oh, man. That's a good question. And we've talked about this on the show before, Andy. It's hard. It's hard being in politics, and I won't speak for our state representatives, our state senators, our governors, but I would almost argue that it's maybe one of the hardest being in local politics, and let me tell you why. I have been at the grocery store before. I was at Publix, and I have been accosted by an angry person who didn't even live in the city. He lived in the county, but he was mad. And he was mad about the traffic and spouting off all these things. And he's yelling at me right there in the middle of Publix. My husband gets angry phone calls. When I ran for office the first time, I didn't realize the impact that it would have on my family and how hard it is on them. My dad struggles to check social media when people are talking negatively about his little girl. Who, by the way, he is the only one that can call me little girl. Let's put the record straight. My father is a fantastic man, and he's very protective of me. And so to see people say negative things about me on Facebook is, I'm sure, very hard for him, for my husband as well, for our 15-year-old, you know. He doesn't want to hear those things. Now, thankfully, this has been a fairly clean campaign on the Murfreesboro City Council. But that doesn't mean that sometimes when we make those hard decisions while serving that it doesn't make people mad. And I understand where people can be upset. I just think that it should be respectful. I will always respond to an email, take a phone call. Heck, I'll meet with you. Agree or disagree. I want to know where you're coming from. But let's do it in a respectful manner. Show me the same respect that I'm showing you. And that's what makes local politics so hard. But most of these people don't have the guts to come up to us at Publix. They're keyboard warriors. And that's
just the nature of the beast now.
It's just the nature of the beast. And I try really hard to stay off of social media for that reason. I got a lot going on in my life. I'm very blessed. And I just don't have time for that.
You've been so active in our community. Talk about, as a woman especially,
yeah.
All right, we've talked about this. we have Kelly Bean listening, another great woman leader in our community.
Amen to that. And I did want to talk about that, Andy, if we can. You said a comment a second ago that got me thinking. You said so many people are involved in making this a great place. And so that's true. The city council does not get to take all the credit, good or bad, right?
Correct.
We've got city council, we've got county commission. We have school boards, both at the county and the city level, road board, state delegation. We have a chamber of commerce that is fantastic. The Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce has helped us get to where we are. They have recruited good quality businesses here that are bringing high paying jobs. I mean, look at Buc-ee's. The joke here is, well, I'm just going to go work at Buc-ee's as a car wash attendant and make, $80,000 a year. And I'm so proud. I'm so happy that we've got Buc-ee's here to pay that. And
General manager makes close to 200.
But also,
crazy.
I don't have the patience to work at Buc-ee's. There are so many people there. But I've driven out there every few weeks and looked at the progress. And it just makes me very proud that we're going to have that Buc-ee's here. We have a Costco. We have the Sprouts. We have Trader Joe's. The Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce, the county government, the city government, I think have worked really well together to recruit these businesses here that have these high-paying jobs, both blue-collar and white-collar. And I'm just so thankful for their partnership. I love the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. I will also tell you that I love that the county and the city are starting to work together on more things. And I'm very proud of the progress that we've made over the last year. We have a trash crisis. And there's a lot of work to be done. And we didn't come here to talk about trash. And I don't really want to talk about trash today, to be honest, Andy. But the reality is we have to work together for a solution, because that is one of the things that affects everybody in this community. It is so, so important. And what I have learned over the last 4 years about trash and water is just more than anyone should have to know about trash and water, unless you work in that field, to be quite honest. But I'm really excited about the partnership that we are harvesting and cultivating with the county, and I look forward to working with them on our trash issues.
But also the state delegation is going to be hugely important.
Huge.
And our next government.
Absolutely.
Whoever he or she may be.
Mm-hmm. This is an important election.
Yeah, for Rutherford County, and especially that, that site.
Absolutely.
So, again, we're hoping you'll get out and vote. My wife and I are traditional. We vote on the election day. We're not early voters.
Okay.
It's just been our thing.
I'll allow it.
And we do it together.
But only if you come to the polling location that I'm working at on election day, so we can take a picture.
All right.
One of my favorite things is taking selfies with voters.
All right. So, which one are you working?
I don't know. You probably Lane Agri. I'm a real big fan of Lane Agri. It's on the west side, and so a lot of my friends and family come out there, which is really great. Also, I'm the only city council person that lives on the west side, and so I have a lot of people in the Blackman area, reach out to me directly because I'm their neighbor and I've lived there most of my life. And so I'm usually at Lane Agri, but there are so many polling locations that I'll probably be bouncing around a little bit.
So when you say that, I grew up in the north, as what most people can probably hear from my voice.
Yeah, the way you say my last name cracks me up.
Yep. And here's my thing. We had councilmen that were in our district, and that's just kind of like county commissioners. We have someone that has to answer to us. Do you believe that the city should do that, or do you like the system of how we elect our council people?
That's kind of a loaded question, and one that I've thought about. I don't think that I'm against districting. I would be against adding additional city council members. And that is because one of the things I believe that makes our council so effective is its size. I'm a big fan of, you shouldn't have a meeting if you can't feed everybody with one piece of pizza. So that's how we operate in my business. And I think when you start doubling the size of the council, things become ineffective. Look at Metro. Look at Metro Nashville. What has happened to their government? There are far too many people up there. Just they can't agree on anything. They can't agree on anything. And so I like having the 7 people. The mayor sits at the head, and then the 6 of us. I really like our size. I'm not opposed to districting it out, honestly, but I think that it's working how it is, in my opinion. I enjoy meeting people on the south side of Murfreesboro, the east side of Murfreesboro, that I don't know as well. And to me, having to go campaign in those areas opens my mind up to a whole new world. And of course, I try regularly, very regularly, to drive the whole city. Before we approve a project, I'll often, very often, go out to the site, drive by. It's not uncommon for me to meet with neighbors next to developments. Actually, I tell this funny story. Joanne Midland, and if she's listening, hi Joanne, she lives over in a neighborhood off of Northfield. And a few years ago, there was a development being proposed right next door to her. And she called me, and I answered the phone. I didn't know her. She's a complete stranger. She called me, and I answered the phone, and we were talking about the development. And she said, well, if you just want to come over here, I'll show you around. And I said, okay, how's 1 o'clock? She said, well, great, meet me at the clubhouse. So I show up at the clubhouse, and it's her and another lady, and she says, well, it's kind of a long walk. You want to get in my car? And I'm like, it's a hot day. Yeah, let's get in your car. So I jump in the back seat. I put on my seatbelt, and suddenly I think, I just got in the car with a complete stranger. And I was so excited about seeing this and meeting with her, and she had such a good energy. So we joke about that. And Joanne, she called me a few weeks ago and expressed support for my reelection, and I got to meet her, and she gives me feedback on projects and sends me emails, and it's been really nice to meet people that I wouldn't otherwise know. And so that's part of the fun of campaigning. It's hard. Oh, campaigning is hard. And let me tell you, you don't get a break from campaigning. You don't get a break from city council either. And I think you had talked about this before we went on the air, Andy, is how much work goes into being on city council. 2026 has been a really tough year for me. I had a major surgery that could have paralyzed me, and by the grace of God, I'm doing great today. Had a major surgery. My stepmom, who has been a huge part of my life for 10 years, and it was a mother to me, she became very, very ill and was placed on hospice, and she passed away 4 weeks ago today. And so I lost her, raising a 15-year-old boy. I'm just going to stop right there because that's a full-time job, but also my own business, and we have so much happening in my professional life as well. We're so blessed, but there's a lot that happens in your personal life, and that doesn't stop you from city council. You've got to still show up to meetings and read the 500+ page agenda every single week, and meet with constituents and meet with the engineers and the department heads. And when somebody calls me and says, hey, this intersection is a mess, can you come look at it? And I have to drive out there and look at it. That to me is part of the job. And so I probably spend 15 to 20 hours a week between Murfreesboro City Council and Murfreesboro Planning Commission on those things. And then I have my career and of course my family. And so you don't get any days off as a council member, just like you don't get any days off as a parent, I guess. But it is one of the biggest joys and the biggest privileges of my life is to get to serve the people of Murfreesboro. And it's something I hope to do for 4 more years.
Before we came on this segment, she goes, what can we talk about for 21 minutes? Well, it wasn't very difficult for you and I to fill 21 minutes.
Now you know how
I was going to make fun of that, but now I am on air. That's the thing I think I most enjoy about you, Jamie. You allow some people to poke a little fun of you. And the older I get, the less I care what other people really think about me. I only got to prove myself to one man, and that's Jesus.
Amen.
So again, when I look at things now, I think I see things very differently. But in politics, you can't do that, and it takes a real juggling and balancing act, and you still need time to refresh yourself. So how have you and Alan have figured that out? Talk about that a little bit.
That's really good. I will tell you, gardening has been huge for me. My husband does not garden, but I enjoy gardening.
I'm with Alan.
Yeah, so I usually start my day or finish my day by my hands in some dirt. I've recently taken up bird watching, and I have some baby bluebirds that I'm hoping will fly the nest today or tomorrow, actually. And so I go to the bird store in the Avenue all the time. A few Sundays ago, I was just really stressed out, and Alan said, "What do you want to do today for you?" And I said, can we just go to the avenue and just walk around like normal people? No campaigning today, no door knocking. So we went to Barnes & Noble, which is one of my favorite places. And then we went to the Wild Birds Unlimited, and I bought all the bird things. I love my friends over there. If you like birds, they're a great store. But doing things like that just make me feel normal, trying to take my mind off of, just for a minute, off of the stress of a business and of the city council and of the election is really important. And having those moments of connection, just Alan and I, are really so important. And right now is a busy season with the election, and our kiddo is getting ready for golf. He'll be on the golf team at Blackman again this year. He's such a talented golfer, and I'm so proud of him. And so I'm trying to make it to all of his matches, but also, do all the other things I need to do. So being outside and being with nature is one of the best things you can do to reset.
So when we look at this, August 7th is just around the corner.
August 6th.
6th.
Yes.
For the election day, but August 7th.
I know.
You put away the signs. A little less stress.
Yeah.
You know, our dad drug us to every barbecue.
Fish fry.
Pancake
breakfast.
And pancake.
Yes.
And so today I don't eat pancakes because I went to so many of them, right?
I get it.
But no, again, tell people why it's so important, even no matter who they're voting for, to get out and vote.
It's important to be involved in the community. And I know people say if you don't vote, you can't complain. And there's some truth in that, right? Because every vote matters, especially in local elections. I mean, these margins can be very tight and very, very critical. And so we've got some really highly contested county commission races right now. And if you live in the city, I hope you're paying attention to the city council election. I would be honored for your vote. I'm humbly asking for your vote on August 6th to be reelected to the Murfreesboro City Council. If you're not in the city, or even if you are, go look at your county commission race and really educate yourself about who's running for county commission. Because like we just talked about, there are some important decisions coming forward through the county right now, just as there are in the city. And we need to make sure that the county commission is ready and equipped to make those difficult decisions. And so please educate yourself on these races so that we can keep electing great people.
So we're in it. Where can they go find out about who's being elected in their district?
Yeah, Rutherford County Election Commission. You can actually pull up a sample ballot. And if you don't know what commission district you are, or if you live in the city or not, you can actually go to govotetn.com. Or .gov, I think, GoVoteTN. It's through the Secretary of State's website, and you can type in your address or your last name, and you can see everyone that represents you. You can see, because it's big with the congressional district right now. There's been a congressional redistricting, so you can see who's your congressman. You can see who's your county commissioner, your city council members, your state executive committeemen, road board. All of those races are on there, and so you go down and you see, I'm in District 4 County Commission. Let me go over to the Rutherford County Election Commission website, check the ballot, see who's running for District 4. And if you need help with that, you can reach out to me. I'm sure Mr. Alan Farley at the Election Commission, who's very passionate about voter involvement, he'd be glad to help talk you through that, or one of his awesome people.
Alan's done a really good job.
He's done a great job. It's been a pleasure getting to know him and to working with him. He is fair. He cares about voter engagement and about fair elections, and I love that.
Yeah, with all the opportunities, Saturday voting, come on, right? Late, past 7.
Yes.
It's just crazy. Again, my wife and I will vote on August 6th. This is kind of our deal. And again, we look forward to seeing you get reelected, Jamie.
Thank you, Andy.
And one last thing.